Jake DeLong here with Chad Ruhlig from For the Fallen Dreams. How you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good.
How's the headlining tour treating you guys?
It's been great, man. I couldn't ask for a better U.S. tour to come back to. You know what I mean? I think the tour package in itself is full of great bands, but I mean, most of all, I think just the kids have really made it what it is. You know what I mean? There hasn't been a single show that we were like, oh, it was alright. Every show has been like, whew, that was a killer show. Like, everything's been great so far.
So, like, you left the band in 2008, right?
Yep, the end of 2008, yeah.
What prompted you to return to the band after all this time?
You know, I mean, music is always something I've always gravitated towards, whether it be me taking a break for 6 months from it, taking a break for a year. I always end up being like, man, I'm really not good at anything else. I should probably just stick to music. And with the guys, me and Jim and Andrew, we've kept in contact now for, you know, over the years. I haven't broke any contact with them. So even despite me leaving, we've all talked and stuff. And when they were talking about their plans with touring and with the band, and they said that Dylan was going to be leaving, I mean, there was really no other option for the band, I don't think, to... I mean, they don't want to do their third singer, and I don't think it would have fit doing a third singer. So when they just kind of mentioned it to me, like, hey, man, what do you think about coming back and doing this again? I was like, fuck it. Let's do it, man. Like, I mean, I got nothing going on right now, you know. I mean, Legend was busy, but at the same time, I couldn't tour with Legend all the time just because the money, you know what I mean? The money wasn't where it should be. And obviously, we don't do it just for the money, but it also is a big factor, too, you know. I mean, you can't expect to be on tour for months at a time and come home completely broke. I mean, I have my own house and everything, so those bills are there, you know. So with For the Fallen Dreams, the band was so established after I left. You know, it wasn't, I mean, I was in the band from 2005 to the end of 2008. I was in the band almost 4 years, and I was with the band for all the grunt work. But also when I left, when I got Dylan Richter and the 3 albums I did after me, they were still making headway with the band. The band has progressed tons, and they built an amazing name for themselves after I left. So it just made sense that, like, hey, the money was right to do it, the timing is right. I wanted to come back more than anything anyway because I love doing what I do, and doing it For the Fallen Dreams just made more sense. So it kind of just, everything aligned absolutely perfect to do it, you know.
Okay. A lot of your fans are worried that it might affect Legend. Just talk about that real quick. Like, you know, how does it affect that?
I mean, naturally, I mean, I even updated from the Legend Facebook how, you know, hang in there, guys, we're working on new stuff, which we are. We have a new record coming out on Rise Records. We're going to be doing a tour right after the record comes out. But naturally, you know, it is going to slow down a little bit just because right now it kind of is my priority with For the Fallen Dreams. And it's not going to, Legend's not breaking up. We're still going to put out a record, and we're still going to be doing a tour off the record. Probably put out another record after that, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to change anything. It just right now, and the drummer for the Fallen Dreams, is also the drummer for Legend. So with both of us doing this right now, it's just kind of hard to juggle both in the summertime. Summertime's such a hard time to tour. So right now, for the Fallen Dreams, it's a little easier to get up on the boat and ship out, you know, do tours with FTFD. But at the same time, with Legend, while we're on the road for the Fallen Dreams, we're still writing Legend tracks. So it all actually works out really, really well. I mean, we're obviously not going to be on the road as much as we were before, but Legend's still going to be going strong. I'm still putting the record out, and the only hard part is I got to write 10 Legend tracks and 10 For the Fallen Dream tracks. So yeah, it's just a lot on my plate right now, but I'll make it work.
So let me backpedal a little bit. We talked about the albums that For the Fallen Dreams recorded with Dylan.
Yeah.
What do you think of those albums?
You know, I thought I loved Relentless. Relentless is one of my favorite records of the band. We play Relentless songs live, and they're some of my favorite songs to perform. I think that record was phenomenal. And a lot of kids say, well, it wasn't Changes, but that record was Changes. It really was, because that record was written while I was still in the band. So whether or not kids are like, well, I don't like Relentless or whatever, that's still the record we would have put out. My stuff might have been different than Dylan's, but it was still the same music. And I think Backburner, the record after that, was fucking awesome. I loved Backburner. The only record I didn't really care for was Wasted Youth. And there's still a few good songs even on Wasted Youth that I like, but as in like a full album, Wasted Youth was probably my least favorite, but I think Relentless and Backburner were awesome. I think the band did an awesome job on them. You know.
So with you coming back, how do you guys determine the set list then? I mean, you know, the records you just spoke about were written without you.
Yeah.
So like, how do you guys go through and say what are the good songs to play with Chad being back?
Yeah, I think it kind of all just boils down to fan favorites. You know, we're gonna play music that we want to play, but at the same time, like if kids really want to hear a certain song, we're not gonna not play them because
Dylan sang it.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I'll sing whatever kids want to hear. I mean, if kids wanted to hear The Big Empty enough, we would play it. It seems like kids right now want to hear the first record and Relentless, which is fine. We have a bunch of tours coming up this year. You know, it's not just a one-time gig. We're doing one tour and that's it. We have a bunch of tours coming up, so you might hear songs from Backburner. You might hear a song off Wasted Youth. You know, it all depends on really what kids want to hear. I mean, we're not here to be like, no, we're only playing old stuff and that's it. Like, this isn't a throwback. If we're gonna come back, we're gonna come back full force. We're gonna come back with a brand new record. We're gonna play stuff of all the albums. So I think to completely forget about 2 records that For the Fallen Dreams did would be retarded. I mean, whether the majority of fans don't like them, there's still a song or 2 that most people like, and we'll probably play those. You know, we're not gonna just play old stuff. We have a new record coming out, so we're probably gonna play a lot of new stuff more than anything. You know, we want to really concentrate on the future of the band. As our past made us who we are, we also want to concentrate on the future of this band. And it's not just going to be Changes tour or Changes in Relentless. Like, we want to focus on the future too, you know.
So what do you expect the new album to sound like? What direction are you guys headed in?
There's a certain kind of sound that comes out of me and Jim writing together, and I think a lot of it is that Relentless Changes style. But at the same time, we've also all grown as musicians and people, so the way we write, I feel like, is a more mature version of that. You know, and I said to kids on my Facebook, they were saying, well, is this we want Changes 2.0. I was like, that'd be cool, man, but we can't write Changes 2.0 because we wrote Changes when we were 17 years old. You know, we wrote that record years before really Changes even came out. We were writing, you know, stuff as 18-year-old kids, so it's not going to sound like Changes. Now I can say that the new stuff is going to sound like a enhanced, mature version of Changes and Relentless, most definitely. You know, I think kids can hear that in the first song that we released off the single, Substance. I think kids can kind of hear where we're going with it, but at the same time, there's so many songs that kids are just not going to be expecting. You know what I mean? We still have that same sound. When me and Jim get together, we write a certain way. And Substance, Changes style, Relentless style are the kind of style that comes out when we write. But the thing is, still, we add choruses now. Like, there was chorus singing along stuff and Backburner and Wasted Youth. So we use small elements of that too. So I think it's just a big cluster of all the albums we've done with just a modern twist of it. I think that's the best way to explain it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you discuss any of the summer touring plans that you said you guys are having? Is it all private
not yet.
at this
I
point?
can't. Yeah. I mean, we got after this run, we have we're going into the studio actually. So this summer we really won't be doing too much because we're going to be working on the record. But in the fall we have like a huge 5-week tour, and then we have an Australian tour, we have a Japan tour. So we have a bunch of really cool stuff coming up, and I think it's going to be really good for the band, and I'm excited. I'm ecstatic about it. I think everybody else is too. The team we have right now is awesome, along with our label being back with Rise Records, our management at Artery, and just our crew right now that we have with us on the road. It's just the musicians and our crew are just perfect, man. Everything is exactly where it should be right now.
Who are your favorite bands to tour with?
I don't know. There's so many. We tour with so many bands. Recently, no bragging rights. Those dudes are awesome. They did our European tour. They're from California, and they are awesome. We had a blast with them. We clicked right away. Dream on Dreamer was another one of those bands. House vs. Hurricane. Those are bands that all did our European tour overseas, and it was awesome. Bunch of great dudes. I wish we could bring them on this tour, but even this tour right now, all the dudes are great. The Sworn In guys are cool guys, and as well as 100th, Gideon, Upon This Dawning. They're all really cool dudes. So I think we're one of those bands too. Like the first couple days we're down to hang out. We're down to get along and have fun. That's why we're here. I mean, now it was weird because we used to be like the young guys on tour, and we're not the young guys anymore. So now we're like the old dudes.
Veterans.
Yeah, the old dudes who are here like really early and up at 9 a.m. drinking coffee every morning. Yeah, it's weird how that works. That's really weird. But it's cool, man. All the bands have been great, and this is my second tour with Back with Full Fallen Dreams, and every band's been on. It's been awesome. They've all been great guys. So.
Is there anybody that you haven't toured with yet that you would like to?
I'm a huge fan of Amir. I love that band, and they're good friends of ours. We've known Amir since 2005. We toured with Amir back in 2006, before Amir was on Victory, before we were on Rise. We were all just doing kind of our own thing. We were like, hey, you guys are good, and you guys are good too. Well, okay, let's tour together. So we've known Amir for years, and now like the new records are just, I love them. So I'm really hoping that this year we get to do some runs with those guys. Miss May I too. Would love to tour with those dudes. They're good friends of ours also. So I think like it's coming to the point now to where every band we want to tour with are like good friends of ours. So we're always like, hey man, let's tour together. Like, yeah, let's try.
If it happens.
Yeah,
right?
it'd be cool, man. It's so hectic now with bands these days. You want to tour with all your friends' bands. You want to be on the road with so many different bands, but it's just so out of control, like out of your control who you tour with, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, like, you got our fingers crossed at work.
I don't think a lot of fans really understand that. You know what I mean? Like a lot of fans will bitch and complain about who you guys are paired up with, and you guys don't have any control.
No, or where we're coming to. You know,
Yeah.
we'll get comments on our Facebook like, "Why aren't you guys coming here or there?" Like, we have no control over that, guys. We say, "Hey, we're doing this tour," and we get an email 2 weeks later with where we're going, and that's it. And then people are like, "You must hate us. You never come here." It's like, it's not up to us, man. If we could be everywhere, we really would, but it's just all based on bigger, higher power than us.
So much shit.
Yeah.
Like if you're on Warped Tour, you can't be in the same city within 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Yeah,
it's
radius
stuff that people
clauses.
don't understand.
Yeah,
you know?
it's small stuff like that, and it's also, I mean, as starting out in this business and with bands, you never think it'll ever be like that. You know what I mean? You never think that you're gonna have like set schedules of everything, but literally every second of our day is completely planned out. Like every day. We have to get to the venue by 2. We got sound check at 3. We got dinner at 4. We got interviews at 5. We got meet and greets at 6. Like, it's literally, everything is planned out. And you never think that when you're first starting. You're like, oh, I'm just going to go up there and I want to play. It's not like that anymore. It's sad it's not like that in a sense, but I mean, we enjoy it. You know, you make the best of it. And when you actually get to the point to where your day is scheduled, you know you're doing something right. So, that's a positive way to look at it.
Who inspired the writing style that you guys originally came up with?
A lot of it was just Jim and Andrew. I mean, that's kind of what it's been from the start. The band started in 2003. Well, pretty much 2003. Like, they started when they were in high school, writing like the band. But the first tour for them was in 2004. I joined on the second tour the band ever did in 2005. But Jim and Andrew have always been the workhorses. You know, a lot of people were like, Andrew wrote everything. He wrote everything on Changes and Routes. He wrote a lot of stuff, but Jim did too. I think Jim, and that's one thing Jim doesn't get enough credit for. I feel like is a lot of the writing in the history of this band is Jim's been here from the start, writing everything. He's the only one left. You know what I mean? I can consider myself an original member because I started with the band when the band first started touring. But it's just me and Jim. As far as writing goes, it's always been Jim. I mean, I write my own stuff obviously, and we collaborate. But it's always been Jim and Andrew. And Andrew actually came back for the new record and wrote some songs with us. So, I mean, I think it's a really good mix of everything. But they were definitely always the two workhorses.
All right, I think I'm going to go to some fan questions. You got any questions, Matt, behind the camera?
Yeah. Let me check my phone real quick. If it wasn't for music, what would you be doing in your life?
I would probably be going to school to be a veterinarian. I've always been. I wanted to do that when I was a kid. I've always loved animals. I've always been really big into that. I think it'd be something fun. I would obviously hate like the bad aspects of it, but it's just something I've always gravitated towards. Also with music, that was probably my second one. I have a ton of dogs, and that's just always something I've always liked doing.
That's pretty awesome.
Being involved with the animals and all that good stuff. Which is a good thing about the band being successful as it is we can use it for positive things like that. I would love to do like a thing for like the PCA and stuff like that. Like I would love to do things for like animal rescues and shelters. Like I think that's cool, man. Like if you can't use your success that you gain with bands in a positive way, you have no business having any success at all.
Jesse Barnett does that a lot.
He does too, man. He is the man. He's a perfect example of guys like that I think more kids should look up to as a role model. And in heavy music, you know what I mean? I think people using positivity to improve their community or even things like that with animals, I think that's amazing, man. That's awesome. That he actually follows through with it and does it, that's awesome.
You, me?
Yeah. Who are some of your biggest influences as a vocalist?
I'm really, I think a lot of vocalists are. I'm a really big influence is Corey Taylor from Slipknot. I think he's just the man. Nobody can touch Corey Taylor. It's Corey Taylor, man. Chad Gray from Mudvayne, another big influence of mine. I think those two probably pretty much sum it up. You know, I have my own style. I'm all about simplicity, and I think that's one thing with both of those two guys is lyrically and the way they deliver their vocal patterns and their vocals. There's beauty in simplicity, and those are two guys that I think are top notch, man.
I got a question here from Jeremy Adkins. He says, "Do you plan on staying with the band?"
Yeah, I plan on sticking around for a while. This time I'll stick around for a little bit.
Thought that was kind of funny. So me and Matt were having a little discussion here.
Yeah.
I said since you're running the camera, you can ask questions, whatever.
Yeah.
And he says, I want to talk to Chad about his favorite wrestlers, and I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And then I got to looking at your Twitter, and you're friends with Road Dogg Jesse James, or?
Yeah, man. Like, well, I can't say like we're friends.
Yeah.
We're acquaintances. Me and him chat quite often through Twitter and stuff. I actually SmackDown just came to the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, and me and him were chatting back and forth, and he got me into SmackDown, me and my wife, for free, and went to the will call, and sure enough, there's 4 tickets from the WWE and Road Dogg for me, which was really cool, man. And that's one dude too. I mean, obviously it's a completely different thing as wrestling and music, but nicest dude in the world, most humble dude in the world from what I know of him. You know, he just always replies to his fans. I think that's awesome. You know what I mean? There's no reason he had to be like, yeah, man, come to the Joe Louis, I'll give you free tickets to SmackDown, which was really cool. But I'm a huge Road Dogg fan. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time anyway. I was like New Age Outlaws and Billy Gunn. I'm big into all the Attitude Era.
Do you watch it today?
I do. It's all right.
I know, like, it's rough to admit that you watch it today. Like, I do too, but it's like, you know, there's almost like a shame. Like, I watched WWE today.
I mean, it's if you're a kid, it's definitely not the same. But if you're a kid and it's in your blood to watch it, I mean, I was just a little redneck kid, you know, so I always watched it as a kid. So now I still watch it because it's just in my blood to watch shit like that. But I mean, there are some good wrestlers, I believe. You know, I think they have a good thing going. There's a few of them that are really good. I still like. I'm probably everyone. This will be the most comments you get on this video is that I like Cena, and everyone's like, "Oh, John Cena." I like John Cena, man. I don't care. He's a cool dude. I think he's cool, man. I don't care. I like Cena. But I like Triple H and stuff, and I like Brock Lesnar a lot. And Vince McMahon's probably up there with my favorites. Best villain ever. Mm-hmm. Completely can tell just everything. He's just acting badly. But he is the man, dude. When he's walking like this, he is the man, dude. Vince McMahon. I'll talk all day about Vince. I love Vince McMahon.
I'm digging up some dirty secrets about you, man.
I know. I like puppies and wrestling. Who's this guy, man? He wants to be a veterinarian, and Vince McMahon's his favorite wrestler. It's Cena. What's wrong with this guy?
What else you got? Like, if we turn on the CD player, would like Nickelback come on or something?
Very well might. We listen to a lot. I personally listen to a lot of bad music. I don't listen to too much heavy stuff. I kind of listen to a lot of radio. I listen to radio and Amir. Those are my bugaboos, I guess.
So, like, who would be in a band, since we're we're kind of having a good laugh here. Who would be a band that you listen to that people wouldn't expect you to listen to?
I like Shinedown a lot. I think Shinedown's sick.
Oh, Shinedown's good.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, I hate that radio stuff. I like Shinedown. I like a lot of bad music. For what it is, you know, I enjoy it. But yeah.
You got any, Matt?
What's your favorite song to play live?
My favorite song to play live is probably December Every Day. I really enjoy December Every Day. That and Brothers in Arms, just because the crowd reaction for Brothers in Arms is always crazy. And then December Every Day is just a fun song to play. It's got the whole song just go, go, go the whole time. I like that one. And it's a little fresh taste, too, because I've been playing these Changes songs for years. So it's cool to actually play songs I didn't write.
Yeah, you could probably only play Vengeance so many times.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Fun song, you know, but we've played them for so long, man. It's cool just to play something a little bit different.
You've been on tour for a long time with For the Fallen Dreams legend.
Yeah.
Can you think of your favorite experience that you've ever had on tour?
Oh, man.
Something that sticks out to you?
Something that really sticks out. I mean, I've had so many, and I wish I would have taken more pictures. I wish I would have taken more videos of the places and things I've done, because I've been doing this for, almost getting dang near close to a decade of doing this, which is I've been blessed to do. But one of the things that stuck out was actually the last Legend tour was really cool. Our headliner last year, we went to this lime quarry in Bloomington or Bloomfield, Indiana. It's near Indianapolis, and we walked like a mile into the woods, like through like just the thickest brush, thorns, poison ivy, everything. And then at the end of it, there's just this gigantic open pit with like the crystal clear blue-green water and just like tons of cliffs to jump off into. So we were out there for like 5-6 hours jumping off these like 35-40 foot cliffs into this lime quarry that's in the middle of the woods. It's called the Rooftop. And there's a 65-foot cliff that like a kid did a gainer off like the year before and like knocked himself out, and he passed away because he knocked himself out and drowned. But it was just like we didn't do those ones. We did the smaller cliffs, but it was still fun. That was one thing it was cool because we had a day off. We're like, fuck it, man. Let's go walk through the woods and jump into a bunch of sketchy water that we've never been into. It was fun. We had a good time. That definitely sticks out. It was one of my favorite times on tour. That was cool.
What do you do? I mean, you said that for the most part your day is scheduled out for you, but I mean, minutes before you guys hit the stage, what are you doing? What's your pre-show ritual?
Most of the time, you know, we get dressed into our clothes we wear on stage just because we smell awful. So we stick with the same stinky clothes every night. Makes it a lot cleaner. So we'll do that. I do my vocal warm-ups. I stretch, kind of get my head right. Before we go on, I say a little prayer, have a good show, and get up there, and that's pretty much it. The rest of the guys will have a bunch of shots, you know, and do a little bit of partying before we go on, but that's pretty much it. You know, nothing too crazy, no crazy rituals, no like quacks or anything, or like I know some bands do the chants. We just kind of like, all right, let's go up there and fuck it, let's play. That's pretty much it. We're pretty black and white guys, pretty simple when it comes to the shows.
You got anything else, Matt?
No, I'm out.
You got? Do you have any parting words for your fans? What?
Our new record's coming out this year, man. I hope everybody checks it out, and hope everybody enjoys it. We put a lot of work into it, and it's my first record back before the Fallen Dreams, so you can expect it to be exactly what everybody wants. So I'm looking forward to releasing it.
Will Legend come out at about the same time?
Legend will be coming out in the winter.
Okay.
A little bit after. The FTFD record's going to be coming out around October, and then the Legend record, because we're a little bit further behind on writing, is going to be coming out in the winter. So that's what we're rocking on, man.
All right, good deal. Thank you very much for your
yeah,
time,
man.
John.
Thank you, bro.